Hi, this is Iman Aghay, the founder of Success Road Academy, and I'm super excited to share this information with you because this information is the first time being revealed here on this video. And this is a step-by-step strategy on how to build a successful business for yourself. And I want to get right into it and don't waste any time here. Just let's get started with that. So there are 8 steps to build a very successful business for yourself. But the question here and the question that you need to answer to yourself in step 1 is, what does even a successful business mean to you? Okay. A lot of people talk about successful businesses, and if you go and ask a new entrepreneur, usually their answer is a successful business is a business that makes a lot of money, a business that makes $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, or a million, or 2 million, or 5 million, or 10 million, depending on any person, right? But they always define the success of a business in terms of money. However, I want to challenge that answer. And my reason for that is because we are entrepreneurs and we became entrepreneurs for a reason. We didn't become entrepreneurs just for the money. We became entrepreneurs because we had a dream. We became entrepreneurs because we had a goal, we wanted to achieve something, or simply we didn't want to work for another person. Now, for whatever reason you became an entrepreneur, you need to have a clear definition of success for yourself, and you need to work toward that success for yourself. So the step 1 of building a successful business is called introspection. Is understanding yourself, understanding who you are, and understanding what you want from your own life. Okay. Now, I usually suggest to go through introspection from several steps, and one of them is write down your values. Okay, what are your top 4 values in your life? If they were to get away everything that you had in your life from you, like you lose everything you had, what would be the one thing that if you had lost, you wouldn't care about anything else? Okay. For some people, it's their family. For some people, it's their health. For some people, it's their money. For some people, it's their freedom. What is the most important thing for you in your life? And after you have that, write down the second most important thing for yourself. Write down the top 4 values that you have in your life. And I tell you why I say this. A lot of people come to me and they're running a $500,000 business, or a 2 million or $5 million business. And they tell me, Iman, the reason that we want to work with you, the reason that we are working with you is because in the past few years, we've been spending all our time and energy and effort for building this business that makes a lot of money. But to be honest with you, everybody else look at us as a success, but we are a big failure because we don't have time to spend with family. We are not around with our kids, or our business caused us to go through a divorce, or maybe I've lost my health, Like, people come to me with these challenges that they are like, okay, my business looks successful, but the success of my business has nothing to do with the success of my life. And I became an entrepreneur to live a successful life for myself. And this is an important thing for yourself to know. Have you seen people who go through life for 10 years or 20 years and they look back and they regret the things that they did, although every other person thinks that they are successful? Well, that's why the decisions that they made wasn't based on their top 4 values. So I ask you, what are your top 4 values? And go ahead and write down your top 4 values. And if you don't know your top 4 values, this is a great time for you to take that time and think about this. Think about the top 4 most important thing for yourself, whether it's your health, family, friends, money, helping others, kindness. There are lots of them, right? If you search on the internet for the list of values, probably you're going to find a list of 400 values, integrity, honesty, a lot of things like that. And you need to know that for yourself and write down the top 4 values for yourself. The number 2 things that you need to know in introspection, the first step, is understanding your passion. What are you passionate about? The values is for not looking back at your life and regretting what you did, but the passion is the fuel of your action today. Have you ever done something you were super passionate about and in half an hour you got like a ton of work done, and then there was some other thing that you wanted to do and you weren't passionate about, and it took you 6 hours and you felt you've done nothing? It's like nothing has really changed in the last 6 hours that you were working. Passion is the fuel of action. Passion is the fuel that you need to have to be able to be productive in the actions that you take and be happy in your life as you go, right? So I challenge you to go out and find out your passion and have a clear statement and clear understanding of what your passion is. And if you don't know your passion, a lot of people come to me and say, we don't know our passion, so what do you suggest? And here's the two things that I suggest. Number one, know your why. Why you do what you do. Okay, what is the most important thing for you that gives you that power to go through the hard days, to be able to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and go through 11 p.m. if you need? And I don't really recommend doing that, but there are days that as an entrepreneur you need to do that. And that's my question for you. Why you want to do that? Why? What is your why in your business? And I tell you my why because I believe it helps a lot of people to understand my passion and why I sit here and do these videos and do 5 talks in a day sometimes. And some weeks I have like 20 to 30 talks in a week, and people ask me, Iman, how do you do that? Right? And that comes from my passion. That comes from I get my energy from my passion, and my passion goes back to my personal story, and that goes from when I was a child. And when I was growing up in an entrepreneurial family. My dad used to be an entrepreneur, and he had a very successful business. He was a very successful entrepreneur. He could understand the different businesses around him very well. So he would go inside the business, invest in the business, and change the management, change the way that they are managing the business, make it successful, and then sell it, or moving on, or making profit from that business. So you could imagine how successful he was to be able to get into another person's dream that they failed, and he would make that dream successful, and they would sell it at the end. So he was a very successful entrepreneur from that point of view. But in my life, there were times that although we were living in the same home, my dad and I and my mom, my family, we were living in the same home. There were times that I hadn't seen my dad for 3 months in a row or 4 months in a row. There were times that I was trying to stay awake until he comes back home, and it was like 11 p.m. or midnight and he wasn't home, and I would try to, and I would fall asleep, and then the day after I would try to wake up at 6 a.m. to see him, and he was already gone. And and this was kind of his life. He would come back very late at home, would leave very early, was always working, was always very busy, and paying attention to to the business. And so when I started growing up and turned into a teenager, I was 12-year-old, and at that point I started asking questions, right? A teenager, a new teenager asks a lot of questions everything. And so that's what I did. And one of the early things that I questioned was my dad, and one time that I accidentally saw my dad, which is weird for a kid to say I coincidentally saw my dad at home, but that was the way they was. I went to him and I said, Dad, I have a question for you. And he said, sure, son, what's it? I said, I want to know, when do you want to stop the madness? When do you want to stop working this hard? You really are financially not dependent in this, not dependent on the way that you are working. You don't necessarily need to work. Yet you work about 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, without any rest, without anything. And, when do you want to stop this? And he turned back to me and said, Kid, as soon as you turn 18, I'm going to retire. And I was the youngest kid at home, and by the time that I was 18, he would be 53. I said, Dad, seriously? Like, you want to retire at age 53? And he said, yeah, absolutely. Like, my goal is to retire at age 53, buy an RV, and with your mom, we want to go to Europe and Africa and Asia and, go around the world and really enjoy our life. But, we're waiting just for you to turn 18, and then I'm going to retire and we're going to enjoy our lives. And I said, you know what, Dad? If your goal is to retire at age 53 with total financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom, and get an RV and go and enjoy your life. His passion was traveling. Like, he loved traveling, right? I said, go do it. It seems that you have a better plan than I thought. So definitely go for it. And when I turned 15, my dad was diagnosed with a disease called ALS. And for those of you who don't know, ALS is a disease that kills the patient within 3 to 5 years. And when I turned 18, my dad passed away and he never retired. And not only didn't he retire, he never got the chance to enjoy his life. He never got the chance to go after his passion and build something that is aligned with his values. And unfortunately, that's not just the story of my dad. That's the story of many entrepreneurs. That's the way that many entrepreneurs work, and whether succeed or don't succeed financially, but that's the way that they live their lives. Even the times that they're spending with their family, with their kid, they're still working about business. They are thinking about business. They are thinking about their work. They are thinking about how to answer this email or that person. They can't take themselves away from their emails or whatever, They can't get a guilt-free vacation to enjoy their lives. And that turned into a passion for me to go out and share this message with entrepreneurs that if you want to make a difference in your own life, if you want to make a difference in other people's lives, you have to be able to make a difference in your own life first. You have to be able to build a business that is aligned with your passion, because every morning that you wake up, you want to make sure that you have a reason to go after that work. And that's my reason. Every day I think about my dad. And although probably this was like my 1,000th times of telling this story, it still hurts me, it still hurts my heart thinking about that story and my dad and how he lived his life. And I want to change that in entrepreneurs world, And so that's why I wake up every morning and I can go through the day and I can work with a ton of entrepreneurs. And I have this passion of working and helping others and helping them to succeed. And that's what message, right? And that's why I can change a lot of people's lives. So my question for you is, what is your why? What is your why? What is the thing, the one thing that gives you the fuel every morning to go out and do it? And if you don't know your why, let's get back inside, let's write down your life story. I didn't know my why until I wrote down my life story. And when I wrote down my life story for myself, it took me 3, 4, 5 hours for the first time. And I'm like, okay, I can expand on this. It took me another 2 days to write down my entire life story for myself, right? But then when I wrote it, I clearly saw why I'm passionate about what I do. And, and I needed to make some adjustments to make sure that I'm absolutely following my passion, right? So that's what I did. And so I highly recommend to you, if you don't know your why, write down your life story and find out the why you do this. And if you don't know your why, and if you can't find your why, my other question to you is, what is your fight? Okay? What is your fight? Any person in this world either has a fight for or has a fight against something, okay? So what is your fight? Either fighting for something or fighting against something. What is the one thing that irritates you to the level that you want to get out and change? What is the one thing that you want to go and help other people to survive? I have a student that she works with autistic children, and what irritates her is the fact that a lot of people don't see the potential in these amazing human beings because of their challenge. you know, and that's her fight every single morning. I have another student whose fight is against cancer, right? Either you have a fight for, like her, for autistic children, or you have a fight against, you know, and my other student's fight is against cancer. And so she all the time, like, her passion is just like making sure that people don't do things that cause cancer. And you know, and guess what, her business is all organic, all natural skincare products. You can see that skincare products is a big cause of cancer, and you know, the way that she puts her business into her and aligns it with her passion is making sure that she is running a business that is aligned with her passion, right? And so she's always passionate about this and always passionate about her business. So that's the second thing. Write down your, number one, write down your values. Make sure that you're not going to regret your life. Number two, write down your passion, so you know that you have the power every single day and the fuel of an inspired action every single day to go and achieve the goal, right? Now, the third thing is write down a 10-year goal. Yes, you heard me right. It's a 10-year goal. If you want to set a goal that is worth achieving, okay? I don't want to set a 1-year goal or a 3-year goal, right? Why? Because if I set a 3-year goal, is it really worth achieving? Like, seriously, something that I can reach in the next 3 years, is it really that big or that important for me? When you want to set a goal, you want to push your boundaries, you want to go and achieve something that is worth achieving. So set a goal that is worth achieving, okay? Think of something so big that you don't dare to think about. That's the goal that you want to put in your goals, okay? Set a 10-year goal for yourself and be committed to the goal and do what it takes to make it happen. But don't get sold to the process, okay? We plan for a year, we plan for 3 years, and I absolutely agree with that, okay? You can't plan for more than a year or 3 years. In fact, to be honest with you, many times when we plan for 3 years, most likely we are not going to even go after that plan a year after. You know, a lot of things change. Don't get obsessed with the process or with the plan, but be obsessed with the dream, be obsessed with the goal. Look at the goal and say, okay, this plan failed. It's okay. I haven't failed. You fail the day that you give up. The day that you give up on your dream is the day that you fail. When a plan fails, it's your choice. The day after, just get up and try next thing. You know, you never fail until you give up. So never, ever, ever give up on your dream, and have a dream that is worth achieving. Have a goal that is worth achieving for yourself, okay? So write down your values, write down your passions, set a 10-year goal for yourself, and think about what is the one change that you want to make in other people's lives, businesses, or environment, and write down your life purpose, okay? What is your life purpose? Your life purpose, you want to write it in 3 sections. Number 1, who do you want to be? Number 2, what do you want to do to achieve who do you want to be? And number 3, what do you want to gain in return? Okay, so who do you want to be? You know, everybody has a to-do list, but not a lot of people have a to-be list. Who do you want to be to others? Okay, who do you want to be to people that are around you? Who do you want to be to your family? Who do you want to be to your clients? You know, like, as part of my life purpose is that I want to be an inspiration and a mentor to entrepreneurs, right? Being an inspiration is not a job. Being a mentor is not a job. You know, being a coach, being a teacher is a job, right? But being an inspiration is not a job. It's the person that I want to be for entrepreneurs, to help them to achieve success. You know, I want to be the mentor, and to be a mentor, what you need to do, you need to achieve success for yourself, and you need to do what it takes to achieve that success. It's not just about knowing about the theories of business. It's not just about knowing about the, steps of a business. It's about actually walking the talk, right? Now, who do you want to be to others? And to whom? Who is that others, Who do you want to be to your family, to your potential clients, to your actual clients, right? And the next one is to achieve who you want to be. To achieve who you want to be, what are the actions that you need to do, okay? And so I say, my life purpose, I want to be an inspiration and a mentor to entrepreneurs to help them to build a business that is aligned with their life purpose. How do I do that? By doing a series of life and business courses, programs, mentorships and other stuff, so I can become that inspiration and that mentor. Also, I will do that by taking bold actions and making huge changes in my own life, so I can inspire others that any person can do it, and you should go and do it for yourself. And in return, what do you gain in return? Okay, in return, I will have financial return and the status of a leader in the entrepreneurial world. Okay, now what is it yours? So who do you want to be? What do you want to do? And what will you gain in return? So these three are the three important things, right? So that's step one, introspection. And to be honest with you, this is the step that when entrepreneurs skip, it's gonna hurt them big time. And funny enough, most entrepreneurs never stop from this point. Most entrepreneurs never start from saying, I want to make this difference in my life. Okay? I want to make this difference in other people's lives. So I challenge you. I challenge you to go out and write down that step, right? And when you do this step, you come up with either a target market or you come up with a solution. And then you need to marry these two, which is called market solution alignment, which is step 2. Now, I'm not going to continue this, okay? You have a ton of work to do, so go ahead and write these things down for yourself. What are your top 4 values? What is your passion, either based on your why or based on your fight, or for or against, right? What's your 10-year goal, and what's your life purpose? Go ahead, write these things down for yourself, have them in a written form. I will see you in the next video. We'll tell you how you can go from step 2 to step 8 to build a successful business in the next videos. Thanks for watching this video and looking forward to seeing you in my next video.